All right, hello everybody once again. Welcome to our second live stream of the day. We are on the Beechcraft King Air 350i. We are flying from Linate to Arnage. So we're going to go about 30,000 feet. We have to go over these mountains. I wish we could go a little bit lower, but I feel safer at 30,000 feet. Getting over those mountains. We're going to have clean air because we're going to turn off the live weather, and it should be a nice flight into Arnage. We're going to come right in over. You'll see there's the Circuit de la Sarthe there. We should see as we come into our approach to runway 20. It's not an ILS approach, it's RNAV. So at some point we're going to take over from the glorious hello Amela, our lovely flight first officer Clarence, and we're going to put this thing on the ground nice and easy. So let's get in here, get everything set up. Let's get airborne. No more sport. It's okay, Mick. I don't mind. I mean, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, people love their teams. They, you know, that's a good thing. It does. I think it gives people hope in a lot of ways, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, look, Ambella can't even say Mick's name. Oh my goodness!
Ready for departure, runway 18 IFR to LA Mans.
Look at that. To LA Mans. What? Oh, Microsoft, you guys just...
Cleared for takeoff runway 18 Froggy 237.
It's Le Mans. Le Mans, come on now. Can't be that numpty. Oh. Unbelievable. That is just a really... That's disrespectful. Alright, climb 7,000 feet is our initial altitude. Ambella is calling Mick Nick. They say LA Mans instead of Le Mans. What is this world coming to? Let's get rid of that warning light, which I don't know why that came on. Parking brake to off. Let's just have a quick look around. Everything looks on the up and up. Flaps are down for takeoff. Let's get out of here. Your weekend name. Honey, I don't know what you're talking about. Nick did that, not me. I don't know. Blame Nick, not me. And away we go. Let's see how we're doing altitude. We're climbing. Alright, now let's put on the Arnage, or the autopilot.
Froggy 237, contact Milan Center on 124.925. Good day.
How about you contact them?
124.925 for Froggy 237. Milan Center Froggy 237 is passing 1,600 feet, climbing 7,000.
No, Nick is his new weekend name. That's his new.
Milan Center altimeter 29.902 continue as planned.
That's his. That's the person that gets blamed for everything. Nick's blameless now. You have Nick to blame. All right, we should be tracking to the right here momentarily. What in the world did they call that place? Oh, yeah, they called it LA Mans. Mick, that's I'm like, that's not appropriate.
Stall.
Wow, yep,
Stall.
I had a feeling that's what was going to happen.
Stall.
This thing is really trying to zip up to 7,000 feet, but we're in danger of losing our airspeed here the way we're going. That is just, man, that's a steep climb. We gotta, hopefully it starts to lower down the nose so that we can get a, there we go, I think it's starting to happen. We gotta get, boy, that put us in a bad spot. Yeah, we are at a really, it says 15 degree, but that seems rather steep for this climb out. There we go. Now we're now we're up. Oop. Well, we were. Now we're getting out of the
Foggy 237 climb and maintain flight level 180.
I'm gonna get a
Climb
little
and
bit
maintain
of
flight level 180
speed
Froggy
going.
237.
Let's get through that turn first, and then we'll prepare to get up to 18,000 feet.
Air Baltic 6, 83 traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 360 generic. Report them in sight. Eurowings 437 traffic is 4 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 390 generic. Report them in sight.
Air Baltic 6, 83 traffic in sight.
Alright, so we got a few hours ahead of us here. Hopefully everybody's got a snack, a drink.
437 have the traffic.
Bella's probably got croissants. Nick probably has a latte still. Daniel's probably into his ice lollies by now. Rob, I went food shopping the other day and ate all 3 meals the same day, but they were all small plates. Oh. Interesting. What did you get that was like a... Sounds like some Jenny Craig stuff or something. Trying to eat smaller portions, Amila, is that it? See, some people say you can do that as long as you have like healthy snacks in between. Then that's a good diet or something like that. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. So yeah, look at those beautiful mountains. We're going to fly over there shortly on our way to Arnage. So we should watch as we get closer to 18,000 feet. That's when we're going to go up to like 30. Which is what I set the limit to. It said 36. Lasagna, shrimp scampi, and chicken fettuccine, and this Indian rice and curry, and a slice of cake. Wow. So, speaking of cake, now I wish Pithers was here because he's got a story time. Because now that you mentioned cake. So many years ago, when I had the opportunity to go to Anchorage, Alaska for 2 weeks when I was in the California Army National Guard. And the first week we had two things going on. In the morning, we were supporting the Winter Special Olympics up in Anchorage. And in the afternoon, we were doing essentially like cold weather training sort of stuff. Because the second week, we got equipment together, and then we actually went out and had to build like a snow shelter, something that you could live in if you were stranded outside. You could survive, basically. And then after we did that, the last full night we were in town, we went to downtown Anchorage to this restaurant, and I can't remember the name of it. Really good food, but it's not cheap. Let's put it that way. I spent $100 just on my own dinner. And this is what I had. I had a pint of beer. I had steamed clams. I had clam chowder for my starters. Then I had a steak and lobster. Another pint of beer with the steak and lobster. For dessert, I had chocolate lava cake. So you get the hot chocolate coming out of it's like a volcano kind of thing. Oh, it was so good. It was worth it too. It was like, all told, with the tip included for service, it was about $100 total. Oh, it was worth every dollar. It was phenomenal.
Eurowings 437 traffic is 12 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 39er, 0 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
That's definitely not us. So yeah, watch, we're gonna told to go
heavy traffic is 4 o'clock 2
at least
miles
to
at flight level
30,000.
36, 0 generic. Report them in sight.
Yeah, that was a really good 2 weeks. Had a lot of fun.
Eurowings
Got to see
437 have the traffic.
Alaska, which I'd never been there before. Haven't been back since, but Anchorage is really cool.
Lufthansa 1310 heavy have the traffic.
It was a lot of fun. So there's story time, and Pithers missed it.
Eurowings 437 contact.
Although I try to plan ahead about story time, but when Noah said something about cake,
going to 126.225 Eurowings 437. Foggy 237 climb and maintain flight level 240.
all right, 240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 Froggy 237.
Yeah, it was delicious. The whole dinner was just phenomenal. The little baby clams that were steamed, and then the clam chowder. Oh, it was just fantastic. What is Mick, can you do me a huge favor, or maybe Amilla? Can somebody get me my the URL for my Twitch live stream, please, so I can copy and paste that. I greatly appreciate it. If somebody could put that in the, you could just copy and paste it. Me talking about my own dinner has turned into make myself jealous session. Yeah, if somebody could find that for me, I'd greatly appreciate that. You just copy and paste it and I'll just type it in somewhere else. So there's 24,000, so we got about another 6,000 feet to go. But we may skirt over these mountains at 24,000 feet. Possibly. I'll okay, yeah, you could just DM it to me, and that'd be perfect. Oh. I just saw your message, Amilo. That's cool. Glad to hear that. Yeah, if you just DM it to me, Namella, that'd be great. But happy to hear that your things are kind of back to normal for you. Alright, I think, there it is. Thank you.
Foggy 237 climb and maintain flight level 300.
There it is.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, Froggy 237.
Okay. 300. Let's get up. Oop. 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 There we are. Speed back on. Let's see. Let's get the. Oh, we need the landing lights off. Let's get the color de-ice onto auto. Turn off the. Oh, we can leave the logo light on. Screw it. All right. Thank you. Kind of multitasking. You're welcome, Bill. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. Oh, look at these mountains here. Vic's already plotting out where he'd have his cabin with his homemade stroop waffles and lattes. With a view looking into Italy there. Very lovely. I wish, of course, we could be a little bit closer, but we don't want a chance running into a mountain. that wouldn't go very well. Look at the huge valley right there. A little more to the west. Look at that. That just looks beautiful. I bet you it's just quiet. Can you imagine how quiet it is? Shop opening down there soon. Yeah, there you go, Mick. Could you imagine how quiet it is there, though? It's nice and peaceful. Have your coffee or your hot chocolate or your latte or whatever. Just a nice, quiet place. It'd be really amazing. That's on my bucket list, to visit a place like that and just enjoy the peace and quiet. Have a croissant or a latte or a stroopwafel or a muffin or bagel, whatever. Just sit there and watch the... Is there food in the back? No, this is a self-serve only flight. We don't have any flight attendants, so if you want the food, you gotta bring it yourself. Nice chilled flight over the hills, over the mountains here. Yeah, that'd be like an ideal vacation, I think. Go to one of these nice little towns here in the mountains and just have some peace and quiet. Self-serve, I'll finish everything. Cheers for telling me. No, you have to bring your own. Not self-serve, but there's no flight attendants on this flight. So, but it's a bring your own food, bring your own beverage sort of flight. But maybe Dick's got you covered there, Noah. Would not have let me on the plane. That's true, Nick. That is true. I reckon Bex would have been here too, watching this beautiful scenery. All right, we finally made it to 30,000 feet. You know, it's funny, when I looked at the flight plan, when I put this together, it said cruising altitude of 36,000. Now, that is beyond the capabilities of, it's 1,000 feet more than what is considered safe operating altitude for this aircraft. But I figured 30,000, at least we'd get over these mountains fairly safely, and then once we get on the other side, it should be Nice view going into France there. Oh man, just looks amazing. Looks like there's an airport there. It's Aosta. I don't know if that's French or Italian. Or maybe it's Swiss. I think this whole range here, or I guess you could just call them the Alps. Man, that is just really beautiful scenery there. I'm glad you could all be here today to take this flight with me. All for coming in and hanging out. We take some global freightways executives to Arnage, maybe with some parts from the Ferrari factory over there to Arnage. Courtesy to El Comandante Momentore. Yeah, I try to pick a good approach that hopefully we'll see the Circuit de la Sarthe as we come in. We'll land on runway 20. We might see the just a bit of the track as they get ready to go onto the Mulsanne Strait. Might be able to pick out the start-finish line. Hopefully we'll also see the big Ferris wheel near the main strait there. I imagine some people may need to step away here and there throughout the stream, so it happens. Hopefully you'll be here for the landing. This is some really beautiful scenery here as we fly over these mountains. Or I'm pretty sure this whole range is just the Alps. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what you could generally refer to this whole range of mountains here. But I could be. Now it's interesting that the this marker's at 22,000 feet. 22,100, and that we would be going even higher after we got over these mountains. Now, I don't know that 22,000 feet would have even been safe enough to make it over think it would have been a very, very touchy situation. So I think we're coming onto the track, our main sort of cruising track here. Yeah, it's much higher up there. That's interesting. Looks like there's an airport right there off the right wingtip. Let's see if we can figure out which one that is. Now, oh, does that look like... It looks like a glacier right there. It's moved over the years. Over the many, many years. Right there off to the right wingtip. That looks like a glacier. In fact, that whole area looks like a sort of movement has happened. Look at that. That's kind of interesting. Look at that. Now, I would think...
Contact Marseille Center on 120.85.
All right, we are going to French control.
Going to 120.85 Froggy 237. Marseille Center Froggy 237 flight level 300.
Froggy 237 Marseille Center, continue to NIFCO as planned.
NIFCO, wow, that's an interesting waypoint name. Yeah, look at, I would think that that's a major sort of glacier area that there would be a point of interest. Look at that though, that's just amazing. I see, that all looks like that's snow. Or maybe that's supposed to be like water running down the mountain there. I don't know, that just looks to me like a glacial movement over many millennium. That's just really beautiful. Ooh. Magiev. Oh, that looks like a challenging sort of airport right there. What else we got here? That's our marker ahead. That should be NIFCO, I think. Yep. Back here in the toasty flight deck. Really nice flight. And when, excuse me, I gotta get a swig of water here. Yeah, once we land at Arnage, we'll look at our flight tomorrow from Linate to the Italian coast there along the Mediterranean side of Italy. Hopefully we'll find a nice, beautiful scenery sort of flight. Sticking, of course, with the our 350i. We may change up the livery a little bit just for fun. Matter of fact, maybe we'll do like when we did when we were going to Munich. We were delivering the King Air 350i to a customer in Munich. Maybe we'll do the same thing. We're going to deliver a 350i to a customer there on the coast of Italy. So it'll be in the basic sort of paint scheme, maybe. Really enjoy flying this plane. I wasn't sure quite how it would be flying a twin twin prop plane, but yeah, it's gone very well. So hopefully everybody's having a good Saturday morning / afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Might be even evening time. Thanks all for coming in and hanging out. We appreciate it. Out of the mountains just about.
North Shuttle 1736, contact Marseille Center on 124.5. Good day. Going to 124.5, North Shuttle 1736.
Yeah, I think we're on our main sort of cruising track here. On our way to Emgoot. Our next marker here. Let's see what we get past that. There it is coming into the screen now. Yeah, this is that kind of a stable straight line track here.
Edelweiss 215, contact Switzerland Center on 126.35. Good day.
Adel, it's Edelweiss. Boy, their pronunciation sometimes is that is just not appropriate. Wow. There's Geneva, so we are in Switzerland. Still haven't gotten into French territory yet. Those were, I guess, technically the Swiss Alps, after all.
Romeo 237, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 305 generic. Report them in sight.
Oh, I think I see him. I see the little
Froggy
entrail
237
there.
traffic in sight.
Zipping right along.
Swiss 259er, traffic is 9 o'clock, 4 miles at flight level 300, Beechcraft King Air. Report them in sight.
I see you. You should see me. Come on. Come on. Come on, Swiss Air.
259er have the traffic.
I salute you, Swiss 259. Thank you for your report. Somebody's zipping right along there. Look at that. Good times, good times. They need to change the yeah, I would think. Well, you know, I was wondering about that too, Nick. Now, of course, if you have your little ATC window open, if you don't understand what the person's saying because of the accent, you can at least read it, maybe in your native language. But yeah, it would be nice if they had a operator there in Marseille who had a French accent, for instance, but spoke English. That would, I think, lend a bit of realism to the situation. slight track there at PAS, just a little bit to the right. Lots of different distance between here and our. That should be our beginning of our approach track into Arnage. So we're going to stay at, obviously, at 30,000 feet here for quite a bit of time.
Froggy 237, contact Marseille Center on 124.5. Good day.
124.5 Froggy 237. Marseille Center Froggy 237 flight level 300.
Froggy 237, Marseille Center, continue as planned.
CAD is our next one at 216 nautical miles. Way off in the distance there. There it is. But yeah, I think it would be great if we had the different sort of accents and whatnot. That would be pretty awesome. You know, just like if you were in the UK, you would expect a British accent. If you were going to somewhere in Scotland, a Scottish or Irish, or, you know. Of course, you know, if you're flying into New York LaGuardia or something, you got a New York accent.
Swiss 2061, contact Marseille Center on 120.85. Good day.
But I would think that would require the hiring of either voice actors or somebody whose voice sounds like something you would expect to hear on a air traffic control sort of thing. And, you know, of course, that would cost money for them to get somebody in studio time and all that. That would be a very long process, I would imagine. Of course, they would have to pass that on to us, that sort of thing. The cost of all that, and not everybody would be probably very happy with that, unfortunately. Geneva is behind us now. There's the Geneva airport. And a beautiful lake there. A couple lakes, it looks like. A bigger one there. Guatemala. For. It's like a little bit of a farming, agricultural sort of area here. What has got Umbrella going? What could it be now? What could it be now? Who could it be? Knocking at my door. You don't even know. What? Bella, what do you like? Well, that's somebody who hasn't really been in our flying simulation streams is Joseph, Mr. Adams. I don't know, he might be back under the spell of Zoe, I reckon. Agricultural sort of. I wonder if this is all like maybe wineries. Maybe they grow grapes there for wines, or something else maybe. Let's see, 190 times 1. So about 218 miles left. Or that's like the true ground distance to get to our point there, CAD. So I always like to know what the true ground distance compared to the nautical miles.
Froggy 237 contact Reams Center on 128.3.
Oh, Reams.
Good day.
Reams was famous for hosting, I think, the French Grand Prix for many years.
Reams Center, Froggy 237, flight level 300.
Before it was sent to like Magny-Cours and some of the other tracks over the years. I remember for years when they had two races in Germany, and one was the European Grand Prix, and I think that was usually at the Nürburgring, whereas the German Grand Prix was at Hockenheim. Miss the old Hockenheim track. It was amazing to see the cars go that fast. Of course, the fans were like, well, we can only see them every so often, and well, they could have, I think they could have built like stands and whatnot at other parts of the track so that you can see. Of course, you can watch it on the big screen TVs. We don't really can't see any of the town names. I'm guessing we're in France now. If we were a little bit lower, I'd be able to pick out some names. Maybe we could determine if they were French sounding or not, maybe. Yeah, Reims. I think there's you can see parts of the old track there. I think there's been kind of a quite a few articles written about it over the years, going back and kind of tracing the route of the track there at Reims. The pits, I think, are still there, but they're in state of disrepair. Probably not very safe to go inside. It's amazing how quickly those things fell into a state of disrepair as time went on and the track was not deemed safe enough for racing to continue. And I think a lot of that has to do with money and whether or not the town or other people can invest in the upkeep and the modernization and everything. And some people probably never wanted it modernized. They were happy with just the way things were. So it just kind of fell apart. Now, interestingly, we're not exactly on the track. We're just to the right of it, which I think is kind of odd, because normally our plane markers right smack dab on top of that red line there, or magenta line, whatever. Purple. I am slightly colorblind, so the color you may see may not exactly be what I see here. It does, I guess it's kind of magenta. But it's interesting that we're not like right on that line, and the plane hasn't. As far as it knows, we're on the line, even though here it's showing something different. That's okay. We're still making our way towards CAD. Ooh, we're talking to Paris now. Oh, we stepped up in the world.
118.05 for Froggy 237. Paris Center, Froggy 237, flight level 300.
Posh? Talking to
Froggy
Paris.
237, Paris Center, continuous planned. Easy 6129er, contact Reims Center on 128.3. Good day.
I feel so honored to get to talk to Paris Center.
Going to 128.3, easy 6129er.
I feel like a well-traveled, worldly sort of person now. What did you do today? I talked to Paris Center flying to Arnage. What did you do? My uncle is colorblind. It gets a bit messy sometimes. Yeah, I didn't know I was until I joined the military, and you have those cards that have the different colors, and you have to say what number you see. And so I couldn't do that, but I can discern between red and green. They give you a different test, and if you can at least discern between those two colors, and then they can waive, and they say you're good to go for service. But yeah, I struggled with that every time I got my eyes tested throughout the years. They, especially in the military, they have you read those. And I think when I got my new pair of glasses, I had to go see the eye doctor, and she checked my eyes, did the drops and dilated my eyes and all that kind of stuff. And but not that I need it for service anymore. But she asked me to try to read them, and I said, yeah, I can't see most of these. I can't discern what number it is, but I can discern between red and green. So, and some people it's more severe, like they can't even discern between red and green, which I think is for military service, especially if you want to be a medic. If you can't discern the colors, then there's a lot of jobs that you cannot do on a sea run. What's that? What do you see, Bella? what? That's a very broad statement. Yeah, even when I was going through, when I was going back on active duty, back in 2008, they were checking my eyes, and they gave me the color blind. And yeah, as long as you can discern between red and green, you're good to go. But if not, then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to. Because my whole intent was to go on active duty as a medic. After going through the training, it wouldn't have been very. I wouldn't have gone if they'd said, "Well, you can't be a medic. Sorry." Then I guess you don't even. So, yeah. You go through 4 months of very intense training, and if somebody suggests to you that, oh, well, you don't have to be a medic, it's okay. Then what did I go through 4 months of training for? I even had leadership that tried to talk. They were like, why don't you go to truck driving school? I said, I just graduated medic school. Why would I want to be a truck driver? You know? So, yeah. I didn't spend 4 months of my life going through HE double toothpick to then turn around and go like, well, I think I'll be a truck driver now. No thanks. That never appealed to me. That sort of job in the military. Because I saw how truck drivers, transportation folks in general, are not treated very well. When you say that, or if you suggest that, you've reached your limit of driving time, you need to take a break and sleep, but people don't always, they don't like that. They want you to go and keep going. So either you get in an accident or you take a wrong turn down the wrong road and end up surrounded by the bad guys. Lovely view of the underside of our aircraft there. I do like the design of this plane. It's got a very aerodynamic sort of shape to it, especially the tail area here, the way that back end comes off there. You got those fins at the back end to help out with the aerodynamics, I believe, and channeling the air away, much like in the way a diffuser does on a race car. I think it helps with the stability of the aircraft and maintaining the flying through the air there much cleaner. I wonder if that's really where they got the idea from, is a diffuser in race cars kind of gave them this idea to do this on the tail end of a plane. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the aerodynamicists for Formula One teams or racing teams in general got the idea from the aeronautical industry. Yeah, see, we had story time and it wasn't even planned again. Peter's missed that too. He's going to be mad when we tell him tomorrow that if he's in the stream that we had story time on the flight. In fact, we had 2 stories. We had story time just now. We had story time on San Pat's Grade, I think, after Pithers left. All right. I think we are in the latter half of the flight here shortly. We should start getting a call at some point soon. Start reducing our altitudes in preparation for our approach into Arnage. So Arnage is a town. It is also the name of a turn at the Circuit de la Sarthe. You have Indianapolis and then a short run from Indianapolis to Arnage. I remember that's the 2 runners. Let's look. Let me make sure I'm giving you the right info here. Remember my Le Mans circuit map history. Yep, Indianapolis. That was correct. So you had the Mulsanne corner, and then a run to Indianapolis, and then a very quick run to Arnage. Hello again, Daniel. Uh-oh, Mr. Ice Lolly is here. How many ice lollies have you had, Daniel? Bella would like to know. Inquiring mind, Bella has. So yeah, very, very famous turn. There's Sarthe. Uh-oh, yep. Mr. Ice Lolly is here. Watch out, Abella. Let's see what number Daniel puts in to how many ice lollies he's had since the train sim stream. And let's see Amella's reaction in the chats. This is going to be epic. Or maybe it won't be. Who knows? I'm gonna guess 3. That's my guess. I think 3. Or it's very possible that Daniel's gonna have an ice lolly, his first ice lolly now, just to wind Amella up. But my guess is you've already had 3. But I could be wrong. We shall see what Daniel tells us any moment now. He may just be fishing one out the freezer right now. But what will the flavor be? That's the other question. I'm not sure what flavors. They come in different flavors, or if Daniel gets only the orange flavor, or grape flavor, cherry flavor. The blue one was kind of like a blueberry flavor. I think that is really cool that you could be here in the cockpit and watching the prop spin, and got the exhaust right there from the currently I've had. I guess that's a big 0. You were waiting to come in and tell Amella. That's just a cool thing to be able to kind of just sitting here in the flight deck here, at the main pilot seat, and watch the propeller go. And then you also have got the inlet turbo right below the, getting that air in there and keeping our engines going, despite the fact that it says negative 47 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh my goodness, that's chilly. That is really chilly. Somebody stick their arm outside and see how cold it is. I'll give you $1. Alright, we are getting closer here to CAD. We may get passed off to one more center, I think. As we get a little bit closer to Arnage, we may get. I'm just waiting to see if Amela is going to have a yes. I think Amela's probably got that grr face ready to go. No matter what number is chosen. Amela's gonna go grr. 4. Oh, that's one more than I would have guessed. I think it's no more than 3. Let's see if Amela guessed correctly. Daniel's probably having a laugh right now. Waiting to break the news to see if Amela is correct or not. Okay, we are 83 miles, nautical miles. 9,700 feet is our expected. I would think we would start getting our, well, I kind of have a feeling like we're going to end up bleeding. The answer is 0, but about to be 1. I knew it. Daniel was waiting to come in the stream to have his first ice lolly of the afternoon. Here comes the grr from Amela. Any moment now, I will. Four people in watching. Thanks all for coming in and hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. I do have a viewer on Twitch that's been watching for quite some time. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. It's all greatly appreciated. Somebody's just passing through, I reckon. Like, oh, I don't want to watch this. This looks, oh. I don't want to see people crashing the grr. I want to see people crashing the plane to the ground. This is boring. Oh, what is this guy doing? Sooner or later, we should start getting a step down in altitude, I would think, because if we don't, bleeding off the altitude in our approach to Arnage is going to be it's going to be a very sort of quick, we may run out of time and space. I feel like I'm reaching that decision point where I'm going to have to make some choices for myself. But I don't want to wait too much longer either. I'm thinking the reduction to reduce down to about, if we drop 20,000 feet and get to about 10,000, I think that's a reasonable thing to do. I just don't want to be left with very little time to... I mean, I know once we hit Cat, I think that's when we kind of track off to the right a little bit and go up and then come around and line up for our Arnage. But I know once we start descending, I'm going to have to come way off the throttle, otherwise we're going to be going way too fast as we come out of 30,000 feet. I know we're going to get a lot of calls from ATC to go back to 30,000. I'm kind of half tempted to just, it is what it is. Yeah, alright, here we go, folks. Let's start reducing our altitude. Everybody buckle in. It's going to be It'll be fun dropping 20,000 feet. Mick may need to hold on to Amella's hand here in a moment. Here we go.
You are 300 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 300.
I salute you, Paris, for your acknowledging that we are out of our altitude. But I think it's good to start taking some altitude off of this 30,000 feet. So we have plenty of time to get ready for our lineup to Arnage, so we can put this thing on the ground safely. Hour and 14 minutes. They said this was supposed to be a 2-hour flight, but maybe we just had some nice weather, no headwind or anything, so yeah, this has gone very well.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb flight level 300.
We're making some smart decisions here. I know You're not supposed to ignore air traffic control. But make our decisions and hopefully set ourselves up for a nice approach into Arnage. The Arnav approach. So, Daniel, what flavor do you prefer when you have your ice lollies? Is there a favorite, or do you just not care? It's just that you have an ice lolly to relax.
Froggy 237 traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 240 generic. Report them in sight.
40. That's almost right where we
Air
are.
France 958 traffic is 3 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 250 Beechcraft King Air. Report them in sight.
Froggy
I don't
237
see anybody,
have the
but sure,
traffic.
why not?
Air France 958 have the Beechcraft King Air in sight.
I salute you, Air France
Froggy
958.
237 contact Paris Center on 125.7.
That's enough messing about now. Number one is being consumed.
Going to 125.7 Froggy 237.
Oh,
Paris
we're
Center
contacting a
Froggy
different
237
person.
is at flight level 240, climbing flight level 300.
Froggy 237 Paris Center, continue to Charlie Alpha Delta as planned.
We are on the descent phase. And I don't think we are descending fast enough to get to 10,000 before we reach Charlie Alpha Delta. They didn't call it CAD. Orange juice. Oh, nice. I remember as a kid that we would, you have the, make your own ice lollies with grape juice or orange juice. But of course, you had to, if you made it with orange juice, you had to get the pulp-free orange juice. So ice lollies with pulp just doesn't taste very good. doesn't have the same appeal as just like an orange lolly.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb, flight level 300.
I think we're doing just fine the way we are. Having a nice leisurely descent here into Charlie Alpha Delta. Be prepared for a nice approach into Arnage. Hopefully right, we'll be able to, the weather turned off, we'll have a nice view of the circuit as we come in. 120. For those of you who missed the earlier.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb, flight level 300.
Watch as we get closer to Charlie Alpha Delta, then it'll say, descend and maintain 10,000 feet. It's weird because they're never very specific until you're like on the approach phase of your flight. Then it's like go to 3,700 feet or go to 2,400 feet or whatever. I kind of feel like they'll just round that 9,750 all the way up to 10,000. But let's see what happens as we get a little bit closer. But we got a nice descent rate here, I think. It's not wildly crazy coming out of 30,000
please
feet.
expedite your climb, flight level 300. France Sol Altitude 29er 1 UR 69er miles southwest. Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Keep speed not above 280 knots. Expect ILS runway 25 approach via Odilo transition.
That's a different
Clear to Odilo.
airport. I wonder if it's, I guess that's the Paris airport or Charles de Gaulle, maybe. Airport.
Descend and maintain 11,000 feet. Keep speed not above 280 knots. Expect ILS runway 25 approach via Odilo transition. Clear to Odilo, France. Soleil 2901.
But that Soleil, that's, I don't think that's how it's pronounced. But I could be wrong.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb. Flight level 300.
Thank you, Paris. I know I'm terrible. I shouldn't be ignoring the request, but it just doesn't seem very practical. As we're to be cruising all the way still at 30,000 feet. I'm guessing there is like a reason behind it, but I prefer to be set up a little bit better for our approach sort of stuff. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make it to 10,000 before we get to CAD. That's okay.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb. Flight level 300.
I probably should have started the descent a little bit earlier, but I was waiting to see if they were going to start giving us like 5,000 steps down, 30 to 25, 25 to 20, 20 to 15, 15 to 10, which I think would have been a much more measured approach for our descent. It's a farmland here in this part of France. I am 100% positive we are over
please
France
expedite
now.
your climb. Flight level 300.
There was a town named there. I see it. It flashes and then disappears. So as we get a little bit closer, we'll start to be able to pick out the town names, which I'm probably going to mangle because I don't speak French. Just a quick update from the flight deck. We are currently descending to start our approach into Arnage on behalf of myself and First Officer Clarence, who doesn't have clearance. We thank you for flying with us today.
Please expedite your climb. Flight level 300.
And we'll be on the ground in Arnage very soon. Thank you. Some airplane or somewhere. Maybe not. Well, we'll get 10,000. Look at that. We did okay. Was a nice managed descent, I think.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb. Flight level 300.
51 nautical miles.
35472 miles southwest.
So well.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Keep speed.
I think it's supposed to be France Soleil.
Expect ILS runway 07 approach via Odilo
I'm
transition.
guessing.
Clear to Odilo.
That's interesting because I thought they gave that information to France Soleil 3435
Descend
a
and
moment
maintain
ago.
10,000 feet. Keep speed not above 250 knots. Expect ILS runway 07 approach via Odilo transition. Clear to Odilo, France. Solile tree 435.
It's interesting, we're tracking to the left. Make this left come on track 2.
France Solile tree 29er. 1 contact Orly approach on 124.45.
Oh, Orly
Good day.
approach. Oh. We just passed CAD. Kovac is our
Going
next
to
one.
124.45 France, Soleil tree 291.
Nautical miles. That is at 5,300 feet. Probably 54.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb. Flight level 300.
It's a 5,000 foot. 46.
Paris Center Royal Air Maroc 850 is passing flight level 360, descending 10,000 feet. Royal Air Maroc 850, Paris Center, continue as planned.
Alright, so let's go to 5,400. Oh, I can turn off the de-icer for the props since we are back in reasonable weathered air.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb. Flight level 300.
Chat's gotten kind of quiet. Daniel's having his ice lolly. Bella's not happy about that. Mick might be having his latte. Oh, here we go.
Froggy 237, please expedite your
Straight on
climb.
to
Flight
number
level
2.
300.
Well done, Daniel. Don't overdo it. We don't want you to get that brain freeze. That's no fun. I can't. It just boggles my mind that here we are, 38 nautical miles from our destination, and they're saying go to 30,000 feet. That just doesn't make much sense. Oh well. That's why we just start making some decisions to set ourselves up.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb. Flight level 300.
I mean, if I was like in the Spitfire or the Eurofighter or something, I would be like, I would zip right back up to 30,000 feet, and just as I'm almost certain, as I got close to 30,000, they'd say, okay, please climb in, or descend and maintain flight, or 5,400 feet, you know. So, yeah, kind of a crazy sort of request here.
Froggy 237, contact Paris Center on 119.825.
Okay, we're going from one center to another.
119.825 Froggy 237. Paris Center Froggy 237 is passing 5,600 feet climbing flight level 300.
Froggy 237 Paris Center altimeter 29.902, continue to call back as planned.
Callback. They don't call it Kovac, it's Kovac. Okay. Oops. Ooh, uh-oh.
Landing here.
Ooh, up. I didn't mean to do that. Hello, Bex. Welcome. You're just in time here for the landing here at Arnage. Mondo Blau. Mondo Blau. Maybe it's Mondo Blau. Interesting town name. Oh, the Mondo Blau.
Longitude 37, please expedite your climb flight level 300.
Sounds like a lovely town. Right there, looks like there's a river going through. Bit of agricultural sort of area. Yeah, you're just in time for the landing. I think this is one of those ones that. Aha!
Keep speed not above 220 knots. Expect RNF runway 20 approach via RM 502 transition. Clear to RM 502.
Let's get down to 3,000.
Keep speed not above 220 knots. Expect RNAV runway 20 approach via RM 502 transition. Cleared to RM 502 Froggy 237.
All right. This might be a nice smooth landing. Nick won't need to hold anybody's hands, I don't think. But you never know. Bella, get your hand ready. Nick might need to hold it. You never know. Well, that's kind of a weird... It's almost like there's a... I don't know what that's supposed to be, but that's a weird patch. Almost like there's a cloud down there or something. Very strange. Huh. Somebody went there.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb flight level 300.
You cannot be serious. Even at this point, you're telling me to go to 30,000 feet. Come on now. That makes no sense. RM 502, that's the one in front of us. We're nearing. My hands in the air like I don't care. Woohoo! I guess you got enough done in the garden for the day, Mick, or are you just taking a break and you're going to peep at it after we get done with the flight here? Well, this has gone a lot quicker than I expected. Saying we've been going for an hour and a half, so I think flight time would be under that. Le Lorat Airport.
Froggy 237, please expedite your climb flight level 300.
You cannot be serious, ATC. I'm on approach. I'm getting ready to put this thing on the ground safely. Get a little bit of Le Lorat. Vorvey sur Osne. I don't know if that's even. Dunal?
Shanxi 4065, contact Paris Center on 125.7. Good day. Foggy 237,
Belay.
expedite your climb flight level 300. Going to 125.7 Shanxi 4065.
Buffet Val de la Charonne. Buffet. Ah, waiting for the wife to get back with more goodies to put in the garden. Even had an ice cream, nice cappuccino one. Ah, I've been been out to local performing arts, food festival, and park. It's lovely out today. Nice, Bex. Sounds like a good time. La Chapelle Saint Remy.
Please expedite your climb flight level 300.
We had a nice flight over the Alps. Nick's picked out his coffee stand spot in the Alps, I think.
Foggy 237, descend and maintain 3,000
See?
feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots.
Alright, we're going to drop some
Climb
flaps.
and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Froggy
We're at
237.
3,000 feet. You numpty. Say in Belay. I think I'm pronouncing that stuff right, but I could be making it. I have no idea.
Air Portugal 69er, 4 traffic is 12 o'clock, 4 miles, at flight level 350 generic. Report them in sight. Speedbird 81 traffic is 3 o'clock, 3 miles, at flight level 360 generic. Report them in sight.
Somebody better report somebody in sight.
Speedbird 81 has the generic in sight.
Somebody's gonna get in trouble.
Air Portugal 69er 4 have the generic in sight.
Well done, Air Portugal and Speedbird. You have each other. I won't make any money, but it will be quiet. Hey, there you go. That's all that matters. Well, you may make a few Swiss
Foggy
francs
237, you
or
are 13
euros.
miles, northeast of Le Mans.
Wow,
Froggy
Le
237.
Mans.
Belly Man's traffic.
Boy, they
Froggy
have
237,
just-
13 miles northeast inbound Arnage runway 20. Belly Man's traffic. Froggy 237 is on final runway 20.
Oh my
to land.
goodness. Sacrilege. They can't even pronounce it right. Oh my goodness. Oh, I want to gouge my ears out. It's Le Mans. Or even Le Mans. I don't know if it's Le Mans or Le Mans. It's not Le Mans. That's for sure. It's not Ellie Mans. Oh. Let's get the landing lights on. Taxi lights on. Let's get all the lights on. Let everybody know we're home. I'm going to put the approach mode on. Now, I don't think, because this is not a ILS approach, we may not get a glide slope. Nope. There it goes. Glide path. But at least we're going to be set up to land this ourselves. We'll fire clearance. Maybe... Oh, Ice Lolly number 3. Yeah, they did destroy that. Yeah, they did, Nick. Absolutely. I can't believe it. As a motorsports fan. Sarge Les Mans. So, okay, so the track should be coming up here in a moment. Alright, so yeah, looks like we've got our... Looks like, yep, the glide path is taken over, so we should have a nice descent into Le Mans. To Arnage, I should say. And here we are at one of the greatest tracks in the history of motorsports. The Grand Prix of Endurance and Efficiency. That's what it's technically called. Alright, here we are. I kind of feel like we are a bit high, but we're losing altitude very safely, I think. Come on, where's the track? That's the town, apparently. Alright, there's our lineup. We are all set to go. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you for everybody who's joining here just as we get ready to land here at Arnage. Home of the greatest, I think the greatest, some people may disagree, the greatest racing track in motorsports history. It's going to say we're too fast. I think we're okay. Let's see.
500.
Trying to pick out. Trying to see if we can get any kind of a... It's like we're not getting the... Alright, well, we're going to have to focus on landing this thing here. Alright, let's get... Ooh, wow, look at that. We are right over those buildings. Woo-wee! That is close. Doesn't get any better than that. Alright, here we go. Let's fire clearance. Wow, that was a very... Ooh, that could have been ugly. Well, welcome to Le Mans, to Arnage, everybody. Runway 02. We didn't get that nice cutoff as we came over the runway there, which is okay. Yeah, I sure did, Mick. I may have trimmed some rooftops as well on the way in. Oh, that was a bit close, but that's okay. We made it. I tell you, what a great great flight. We had some really beautiful scenery. Bit of an odd landing, but we put it on the runway very nicely. Slowed this thing down. Got it turned around there at the end. Alright, let's see. Let's put the parking brake on. Let's go to...
Belly Man's Traffic Froggy 237 is taxiing to runway 02.
Oh. That's not what I wanted to say.
Belly Man's Traffic Froggy 237 is clear of the runway.
Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go find a parking spot and then we'll shut the plane down like we normally do. And then we'll have a look from the air, and we'll look at tomorrow's flight. I think I see a ground crew over here to the left, so we're going to taxi over here. I don't think that the tower is anybody's there at the tower right now, so we don't have any way to say give us a parking spot, but I'm guessing this is our parking spot here. Yeah, very nice, Mello. Thank you. Some really beautiful scenery along the way. Didn't take nearly as long as I expected it to. So let's turn off the battery here, and that should end our flight. Let's make sure the props are done. There we go. Battery off. That should end the flight. Usually it does. Let's turn off the engine generators. Wow. Normally, yeah, once we do all that, normally we get the, that's okay. Wow. Okay. Normally it ends on its own. Alright, well, we will go ahead and end that there. So let's look in our logbook. We'll see how long that really took. It said about 15 minutes, but I think we did significantly better than that. That was a hour and 39. Yeah, there we go. So, we are at the 80 hours, almost to 100. Alright, so, we landed. Where is Le Mans? That's Germany. There it is. So we landed, we came in this way, so the circuit was right there as we came in those buildings. I wish the Ferris wheel, which is right around here somewhere, we didn't see that. Although it looks like it's not there anymore. Huh, interesting. Because I know usually that would have been a pretty easy thing to pick out, is the Ferris wheel, which is usually right here somewhere. Interesting. Okay, so tomorrow, let's go back to Italy here. Tomorrow we're going to take off from Linate, runway 18, and we are going to go to, if we can, I don't know how long the flight's going to be. Ooh, I like this. This looks interesting. Sestri. Long of a flight that is. IFR, low altitude. Ooh, that doesn't seem like that's going to take very long. Should be an ILS approach. Runway 10. No, only 28 has a ILS approach. Okay. ILS 28. That's still, oh, that'll be a nice approach over. Oh, look at that. Yes, indeedy. So Linate, let's go. What was my? Oh yeah, I like that. It looks like a pretty good flight. We'll just go straight down here, come around, and then do our lineup for ILS approach 28 Zulu to Sestri. Oh yeah, that's going to be a beautiful flight. Look at that scenery that we're going to have coming in. A bit of industrial sort of stuff, but that's okay. We're going to have some nice coastal sort of views. Yeah, and then from there we'll see if we can fly down to Looney Mill, maybe, or that might be a short runway there. But we may be able to land there. It may not have an ILS approach, but yeah, we'll try to have some nice flights along the Italian coast here. So I will make note of that information, and we'll fly that tomorrow. So anyway, thank you all certainly for coming in and hanging out. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Very beautiful scenery flying over into France. So if you missed it, please watch it on the replay. It'll be a nice journey. And I do all tomorrow on the Dresden line. We'll do some more freight services. We'll do a freight service tomorrow on Dresden. And then we'll fly this flight. Shouldn't take very long to do. We're going no higher than look at that, 14,000 feet. Oh yeah, we're going to have some nice views going into Sestri. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. Thank you all for coming in. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Live long and prosper.